Hi there. Hello friends. Hello people who haven't seen me in forever. This is Tanya with Sweet Tea Stampin' Spot, and I decided it's time for me to get back and do some videos. So figured, why not today? Today's the day, right? So it is Thursday, June 6th here, and it's in the middle of the afternoon. So just a little backstory. I used to do Facebook Lives consistently on Thursday nights, and then Scouts for my kids kind of took over that night of the week, and then things shifted a little bit, and now they go on Monday nights because they're in the bigger Scouts now, the older Scouts. But I was finding that by the time I got to Thursday night, I was exhausted, and there was just no way to pull off videos and act like I was fully awake and engaged. So I am trying something new and going to be doing Facebook Lives all month long to start with for June 2024 here in the afternoon. And it's typically going to be somewhere between 12:30 and 2:30. I have some appointments here and there that I need to adjust around a little bit. But the great thing with these is, of course, you can watch a replay anytime. So even if you miss the live video, you can watch your replay. So I hope you enjoy the video. Today I'm going to be featuring a new stamp bundle from the new 2024 to 2025 Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog. It's a card that if you look through my post recently, you may have seen, and I just wanted to share it with you. So today's just about some stamping. I will highlight some things that are going on with Stampin' Up! But if you're watching the replay or you're watching me live, I would love to know. And I'd love to know where you're from. So I live in Chesapeake, Virginia, which is the very southeast section of Virginia, and not far from Norfolk and Virginia Beach. So all the way on the East Coast. And I have a studio here in my home. Actually, I'm in my studio now. This has been a work in progress over the last little over a year and actually 2 years fully, but I've been down here a little over a year and a half in this studio doing classes and things like that. But I used to be upstairs in the room over where I'm at right now. But I welcome you, and again, my name is Tanya, and I have been a demonstrator with Stampin' Up! As an independent demonstrator for 21 years, which is hard to believe, right? When I'm only 27, right? I'm just kidding. So if you're here watching, thank you so much, and I'm gonna get started. This is the trickiest part for me. I have been struggling with technology lately. Facebook has changed some things, especially doing videos, and I am an Android person, so it's taken me a while to build up my confidence to do videos again where I need to show my face in one direction and then switch around to do video face down on my desktop, or hands down, I should say. So bear with me. I will try and cover the camera during this transition. One day it'll get smoother, but right now this is what I have and this is what I got to work with, so I'm just gonna roll with it and go with it, right? No fear. So just close your eyes and I'll tell you when my camera is ready for the hands down. Hi Irene, look at you. I'm so happy. Thank you for joining me and saying hi. It's been so long. I was just saying, I don't know if you caught that, but it's been so long since I did a video, and so bear with me. I might fumble through this, but I promise to make something fun and to share a little something with you. So let me cover up my camera while I transition. I'm going to try not to turn the phone off, and it may not transition easily, but we're going to try. And I tested the camera placement before I went live, and so now I just have to find the right button. How do I do this? Okay, there it is. Let's see. There, I think I have it. I don't need that big flashlight on though. Let's see if I can turn that off without bumping it too bad. Okay, let's see if I can zoom out a little bit. Let me zoom back in a little bit. So hopefully you're seeing the catalog. So, and my desktop, which is good. That means I'm here where I want to be. So, hi Melinda, thank you for popping on. And thank you, Irene. I appreciate that. So today I want to share with you a card that I did this past weekend at our annual catalog bingo event, and I did post a picture of it. It was kind of hidden inside. Thank you for the confidence booster. So I wanted to share it with you today and talk a little bit about what I used and the supplies that are available, because this is a brand new bundle, and it just so happens that this bundle went on sale yesterday and will be on sale all the way until June 30th. So first, let me show you in the catalog. The bundle I'm going to be using is on page 73, and it is a hybrid bundle. So that means it comes with the stamp set, of course, if you buy it as a bundle, but it also comes with both the dies here and the embossing folder. So you can buy the stamp set by itself, and you can buy the embossing folder and dies by themselves, but you can't buy these two pieces individually. It's a hybrid, so they only come together. And this is what they look like. So the stamp set, of course, in the stamp case, that's pretty normal. And then the dies come in a die sleeve, and I flipped my thing over so you can see the dies. Actually, yes, there's the dies. And then this is the embossing folder. So the cool thing about these hybrid sets, and there's a few of them available by Stampin' Up, is that you can use the embossing folder by itself. You can use the dies by themselves, or you can join them together and use them together. And so this die here, I'll go ahead and take it out for you, the large one, is meant to go inside the embossing folder. So when you run your paper through, if you want to not only emboss, but die cut out the 3 sand dollars, you can run it together simultaneously. So that is one feature of the hybrid embossing folders that go with the dies that coordinate. So that's how this works. I'm not going to demonstrate that in detail today. That wasn't part of my demo, but I wanted to explain that you can use them together, the dies and the embossing folder, or independently. But you can't buy them independently. You can only buy them together. The great thing about this bundle right now is it is included in the stamp and die bundle sale, even though you also get an embossing folder. So normally the price of this in the US is $47.50, and right now it's on sale through June 30th for $42.25. So I just wanted to point out that will be the set I'm using on my card. The designer paper that I'm using is actually from a different suite, and it's this paper right here on page 51. This is the Country Woods Designer Series paper. This is a 12 by 12 paper, and I specifically chose this piece out of the pack. I'm not going to show you the whole pack today, but I just love this piece. It reminds me, we're near a coastal area. We have a lot of water in this area, and we're right near Virginia Beach and the Outer Banks and of North Carolina. And so lots of people, these colors just scream coastal to me. So that's why I paired it with this stamp and die bundle. And I will also be using, I'll point this out, the Baker's Twine Essentials Pack, which is right here. This pack of Baker's Twine, I think I have purchased since it's been available. It's not brand new, but I have purchased this probably 6 different times. It has got basic white in it, basic black. It has very vanilla, gray granite, and crumb cake. So I'm actually using some of the crumb cake Baker's Twine in this. But this Baker's Twine is on page 113 in the catalog. Our layout of our ribbons are a little bit different this year here, but it's number 2, so you can see a little example of it right there on this project. But number 2 right there, it's $11. But did you know that in this one pack for $11, you get 35 yards of Baker's Twine? Like, that's an awesome, awesome deal. So I love this Baker's Twine. It's so versatile. You can use it in so many ways. But on this project, I did specifically use the crumb cake. All right, so those are the main supplies that I used for our project today, besides cardstock and ink, and I'll go over that as I do the project. But I wanted to highlight some of those products that you may not recognize. So I do have a host code open for the month of June. If you decide you want to buy something, this is my website, tanyareid.stampinup.net, and my host code is CMY4DC2E. So I will leave that over here and bring it back in, because when I'm doing stamping, I sometimes want this. But I've got my old mat that I love and have had for a long, long time that I will never get rid of, but this is my Stampin' Up! Mat that I use for a lot of stamping at my station. All right, so we're gonna start with the base of Misty Moonlight, and I just did a standard 8.5 by 5.5, and then I've scored it right in the middle at 4 1/4. And I need to put my cheaters on. Sometimes I need a little extra eyes. And I'm just going to use my bone folder to crease that. Then I have already taken, we have a brand new Essentials Neutrals color called Basic Beige, and I took the embossing folder and ran it through a 1/4 sheet. Basically it's basically a 4 inch by 5 1/4 inch piece. I ran it through the embossing folder here, the Seaside Wishes embossing folder, to give us the texture on the background there. So that is what I used for this, and I'm going to just adhere that right down on my card front. That's again Misty Moonlight with Basic Beige on top, and I'm going to use some of my adhesive for that. And I just, when I do an embossed piece or something that has a lot of basically embossing done to it, I do like to use the glue versus the seal or something like that. The glue tends to hold better for me. All right, so I'm just going to adhere that straight down onto my card base. So on the dies, I did use this die here. It's a very detailed piece of coral / shell, and I cut that out in the Calypso Coral color. So I'm going to take this and just add a few little dots of glue. And I see Sandy's joined us too. Hello, Sandy. I don't know if I can see comments in a different way. I'm trying to get my computer in front of me to show stuff. Okay, there you are. I see that now. All right, so I'm just going to dot a little bit of this green glue. Again, you could also use glue dots for something like this. Just kind of ball them up a little bit. But I'm just going to use a few gentle dots of glue in a few spots on this Calypso Coral piece that I die cut ahead of time. And I just jumped right into assembly, didn't I? So we haven't even done any stamping yet. So I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to grab my silicone mat actually and put that kind of out of the way or up in the corner. And I'm going to flip this over and let it dry. So I'm going to let that Calypso Coral piece dry there, because some of that glue can seep through all those little grooves there. So let's do some stamping. So, and then we'll finish assembling at the end. First, I'm going to take the large Sea Star from the Seaside Wishes stamp set, and I'm going to stamp that in Petal Pink ink. Petal Pink. And I'm just using a scrap piece of Basic White. I didn't really measure this one, but as long as it fits your stamp, because we're going to hand cut this. I could use the die. There is a die in this set, but I'm just going to use my snips real quick and die cut this. So again, that's Petal Pink ink. That rhymes, right? And I'm just going to use my paper snips in a minute and cut that out. In the meantime, I'm going to use Crumb Cake ink and another piece of Basic White. And this one is 2.5 by 3/4. 2.5 by 3/4. And I'm going to stamp my greeting to the right. So there are several greetings in the set, and I chose Your Friendship is the Best Gift. So that's going to go on there in Crumb Cake. So I'm going to ink that up and then just stamp that over to the right on that piece of white, Basic White cardstock. All right. So again, that was Crumb Cake on Basic White for that one. And I'm going to press this down again, make sure that that piece of Calypso Coral is drying there for me, so I can put that together in a bit. All right, and now we'll cut this out. And I'm just going to cut it and leave a little bit of a white border around. And again, like I said, there is a die in this set that I could take and go over to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Oh, I didn't mention that. So my bundles, not only are the bundles, the Stampin' Die bundles on sale, but both the regular size and the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machines are on sale for an extra 10% off as well. So that's an awesome opportunity right now in the month of June through June 30th to get those machines at an extra 10% off. Of course, if you're a demonstrator, you get your discount on top of that discount price for both the bundle sale and the machines. So great opportunity this month to double dip for demonstrators. All right. So when I did this at the class on Friday night at our bingo event, I was specific about saying this is a C-star, because when my kids were growing up, now they're both in middle school, one's about to be a high schooler, believe it or not. That's kind of when, like, I feel like the scientific world started changing from starfish to C-star. So I'm very specific about calling it a C-star and not a starfish. Okay, so that's cut out. I have one more piece to stamp. So I'm going to take another piece of basic beige, a quarter sheet of that, and this is going to go on the inside of my card. So again, it's 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to use the basic beige ink. So again, this is a brand new, it's not in the neutrals family. It's actually kind of listed in the catalog along with like basic white and basic black, but basic beige is the new kid in town. So there is cardstock, there is ink pad and refills, there's some ribbon also, and some other things, but and you'll find it in some of the designer series papers as well. So I like this color. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a cross between Sahara Sand, for those of you that remember that one, and throwing it back to River Rock, that color. So that's just what it reminds me of, but it's a great neutral. It works with lots of different colors. So I'm going to take in the stamp set the small C-star and this little sprinkles stamp and kind of do a little bit of a decoration on the inside of my card. So I'm going to stamp about 4 C-stars kind of along the bottom and side. And then I'm going to use my sprinkles. I'm going to go real gentle. And it kind of looks like sand a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit here and there. And I'll hold it up in just a second when I'm done stamping. A little bit more on there and a little bit there. So I've just added that little texture to the bottom there to add some interest to the inside of the card. All right, so let's finish our assembly. So the only inks, like I said, I've used are Petal Pink, Basic Beige, and Crumb Cake. So those are the 3 ink colors for this project. All right, so let's bring our base back in, and that Calypso Coral is dry now there. And again, just put it on the bottom or upside down on my silicone mat. Now I'm going to put my piece that I just stamped on the inside. I'm just going to use some green glue for that. And then, like I said, I was going to use some of the Country Woods Designer Series paper that's on page 51. So this is my little piece of that. Like I said, I just love the wood plank design, and those colors are very coastal to me. And of course, Misty Moonlight is the color here, and Petal Pink. So those are colors I added to my card on purpose. So I'm going to take my adhesive and just glue down a strip of that. This strip is 1 inch by, I think, 3.5. Yes, 1 by 3.5. Just going to adhere that down. Right there, and cover up my little piece of die cut Calypso Coral a little teeny bit there. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is add some dimensionals to the back of this greeting, and I'm going to put a couple on here, just 2. I don't need a ton. It's not a very long piece of cardstock. I'm going to take that and just place it right here, just so it's right at the edge of where this goes by the basic beige. And then we've got our C star. So for this, I want to make sure one of the C star's arms is on my cardstock there. So I'm going to add little pieces of dimensionals behind the other arms. so that it's level with the greeting that I just popped up there. So I have some mini dimensionals, and I am going to even snip those smaller just to be able to add a few to the arms of the sea star because they're very narrow. Some are wider than others on the sea star, but several of them are very narrow. So I'm just going to add little bits of dimensional there. And then whichever one I didn't put dimensional on will be the arm that stays on the greeting. You'll see what I'm saying. So that one's going to stay flat there, and then these are going to get popped up here right next to it to the left side. Now I'm not going to adhere these down yet because I want to add my baker's twine. So what I'm going to do here is just tie knots in both ends of the baker's twine. And again, this is the crumb cake piece from the Baker's Twine Essentials pack. I have not been watching any comments, so if I missed a question, I will look back at it later. But hello again if you're watching for the first time, or hello again if you're watching and are glad to see me back. So I appreciate the warm welcome. All right. So I've tied some knots on each end. And before I put the rest of the arms down, I'm going to just kind of lay this around the sea star arms, just so I can kind of loosely see where I want it to lay. And then what I'm going to do is use a glue dot now to adhere both ends on those dots. So I have a general idea of where I want them to land, and then I'll kind of play with where I put the baker's twine around the sea star from there. So, and then I will trim up the ends at the very end. Okay. So put that one down. Let's get another glue dot here. Stick that on there. Okay, now that just kind of gives it a very nautical feel with that baker's twine. And then I will take the backings off of the rest of the dimensionals gently, trying not to crease my sea star arms. I'm just tacking those down. I would not want to have to fuss with putting the dimensionals on after I put it on there. So definitely do that afterwards. So there you go. How fun is this little card? I love it. The new Seaside Wishes bundle is one of my absolute favorites. And it's even more fun because it is a hybrid. I'm trying to pull stuff over so you can see. Because it's got the dies, the embossing folder, and the stamp set. But an easy card, but just some great coordinating colors and images from the Seaside Wishes stamp set. So thank you so much. I love it too. It was very fun to put together for our event, and I think everyone enjoyed putting it together. Again, because we're right near the coast, so many people enjoy that area of the country and wherever you're at, but having this kind of relaxing to me card. So I love it too, and I hope you enjoyed today, and I hope you can join me next week. All right, everybody, and if you can't join me live, of course, watch the replay, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.